Alrighty guys, welcome back for another Dokkan Battle video, and today what I wanted to talk about is this new LR Super 17. Now the reason why I am making this video, even though again his details have already been, been tweeted about on Twitter, have already been announced, is because already I can see a ton, not of negativity, but just kind of like people saying that 17 isn't a top tier unit, and I really disagree with that. Again, this video is going to be very, very rant based. Again, I'm just going to kind of like go off right now. But again, at the same time, it is going to be very good for you players if you guys really want to summon on him. Again, this is going to be a really good video for that. So again, I'm just going to hop right in. All right, so number one, flat out, 17, in my opinion, has got to be at least a top 10 LR. The reason I say that he's top 10 is because I'm not just going to be talking about him in terms of just like attack and defense and super attack effects. No, I'm looking at the whole picture. Number one, his teams that he's on, the teams that he's helping, his typing, his leader skill, his passive, his active, his links. I'm looking at the whole picture, his stats as well, everything. We're going to put everything together and how he's going to impact the game. Number one, leader skill is great. Again, GT bosses or androids 4 key, 100% to stats, 150% to stats, that's a good leader skill. I know many people wanted a 170% leader, but again, that 170% leader I think is better reserved for a, I would say, more deserving character to lead GT bosses, which in my opinion is Omega Shenron, because he's like the big bad final villain of the whole series. So I do think having him be the true 170% leader is better than say Super 17, because Super 17's arc was relatively short in GT, but I'm still really happy that they did put him on, GT bosses. So again, I understand maybe that's what the game developers were going for. So if they are, I understand them in that way. Again, 4 key is a very powerful ability. That means that his team is really not going to be struggling for key. Because if we go ahead and look at the GT bosses category, again, right now this LR, Dokkan Ultimate Clash LR, Sin Shenron and like Shadow Dragons is not currently out on global, so that does already hurt us. But again, when he does come out, the fact that Super 17 is giving 4 key means that you're going to be starting out with 8 key, which is really, really good, meaning that, again, key is not going to be a struggle for this category, which is going to be very, very important for it. Because again, most of like the really good LRs that you obviously want to run on this category are going to need key, Baby, Sin, and Shadow Dragons, and then obviously the LR himself. And then of course, with the TUR starting out at 8 key, it's really not going to be that hard to, get, say, a 12 key super attack with them. So again, leader skill is good. People who say that, it should have been 170%, I understand where you guys are coming from, but at the same time, we have to think about what are the game developers thinking in their mind. They're thinking about, hey, we need to release an Omega Shenron. We want him to be the true GT bosses category leader. Why? Because then that leaves us with like room to like improvise, like say maybe release another transforming Super 17 that's 170% to attack and defense or attack and HP. So that leaves a lot of leeway for them to say like release another GT bosses leader without releasing like say a full 170% leader straight off the bat. All right, super attack effects are ass. Again, that needs to be said plain and simple. The super attack effects are complete butt cheeks. Again, I do think they could have at least maybe given him raises attack and defense for one turn on both 12 and 18 key super attack. Because again, power creep is a thing in this game. Literally no one cares about it. Like, units have been getting power creeped for so long now. In my opinion, that is a negative on him. Is who cares? Go all out with the super attack effects. Literally no one gives a damn. This is a PvE game. It's not gonna hurt like the balance of the game, because there is no balance in Dokkan. There's never gonna be, because again, it's a PvE game. Like, who cares? Passive is very good. This alone makes him a top tier unit. 170% attack and defense at the start of turn. That, again, is really, really good. The reason I say that is because defensively, this guy is going to be easily over 200k defense. Like, say without any links active, this guy easy is going to be clearing 200k defense. Because look at his defensive stat. 15,506. That is his defensive stat. That is very good for a summonable LR. And the fact that he's getting 170% means this guy is going to be very good. Extremely good defensively. So already, very good unit. Because on my checklist, I would rather have a unit be a defensive god than be like an absolute like offensive god. Because again, the difficult content in this game requires you to have good defense, and that's something Super 17 already does. So that's already really good points for him. Because again, he doesn't need, say, a ton of support on rotation for his defense to like skyrocket past 200k. No, this guy is going to be at like 200k or maybe just under 200k by himself. Again, very, very impressive straight off the bat. And then he gets 17% attack and defense per android's category ally, self-excluded, kind of like Spirit Bomb Goku, attacking in the same turn. So if you have two androids category units with him, he's going to be getting an extra 34% attack and defense. Again, he technically doesn't count himself. Again, that's just like another little nice buff built into him. But target Goku's really what I'm looking at. Because again, he also gets an additional 17% attack and defense per target Goku category ally, not including himself, attacking in the same turn. Because if we take a look at target Goku and the overlap with GT bosses, already there's a very, very striking image right here. Baby is on both GT bosses and target Goku. So realistically, a rotation of Baby and 17 is possible. Because again, Baby is actually not that bad. You know, he obviously has aged, you know, as all LRs do, but he's not that bad. And they aren't going to link the worst. Again, really the only link they're going to really share is going to be things like GT, which again is already a good, you know, link anyways, because it's 2 key. So, you know, key is, again, not going to be an issue for them. And then legendary power. That's basically it. But with those 2 links alone, I mean, also Fierce Battle, but like, I mean, he doesn't even have Fierce Battle, so, I mean, that technically doesn't count. Anyways, again, GT, legendary power, that's really all they need, again, because GT's giving key and attack and defense, legendary power's giving attack, and then he also has this built into his passive where every single time he gets hit, he has a 50% chance of getting 1 key. That is probably, again, the second thing that I would consider bad about him. Just give him the you know, like key when he gets hit. Just give him the 7 key when he gets hit. Well, technically he needs to get hit, you know, like 7 times, but just give him the key. Like, they didn't need to add this into him because, again, who cares about balance? Literally no one cares. So again, that's probably the second negative about him besides his super attack effects, is just that. And then he also gets 17% damage reduction and an additional 17% attack for 3 turns after he gets hit. So essentially the way this works is, say he gets hit turn 1, turn 3 when he comes back, he has an extra 17% damage reduction and 17% attack for 3 turns, which doesn't look that impressive, but again, with like 200k plus defense, 17% damage reduction is gonna help. I mean, it really is. So again, not a horrible condition, but I do wish, again, that they maybe buff this to like 30%, even 20%. Again, no one cares about balance. Just make him ridiculously powerful. That's not to say that he isn't good already, because he is good. But again, he could have been better. That does need to be said. Credit must be given where credit is due. He should have been better. But other than that, again, he's still really, really good. And going back to Baby, again, Baby, target Goku, GT bosses. Again, eventually we're going to get a new Baby. Plain and simple. Eventually we're going to be able to get a Super 17 that fuses. And then when that happens, a rotation of the new Baby fused, fusing Super 17 and then LR Super 17 himself is gonna be absolutely disgusting. Now I know what you're saying. Well, how long is it gonna be till that actually happens? Now the issue with that is, unfortunately, probably a long time, just because the way that Dokkan is moving. Actually, no. I mean, we theoretically could probably get, say, like a dual Dokkan Fest for like Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Baby for sure. Because, they have been buffing things like GT lately in movies. But my prediction is probably not for like maybe like a year, like a year or two. We're not going to see like, say, a fusing Super 17 for sure. That has to be acknowledged. But again, even without a perfect linking partner, he's not horrible. He really is not. Because again, he's going to have solid attack and defense. You run him with this baby, he's going to get that extra 17% attack and defense. Again, he's going to get the damage reduction and the extra attack for 3 turns after he gets hit. And then he also does have, again, the high chance of getting 1 ki up to 7, which again, doesn't seem that good on paper, but again, it's a 50% chance, so, the odds technically are in your favor. So that does need to be said. And then the final thing I wanted to touch on is going to be his links, as well as his category and his active skill. His active skill is absolute butt cheeks. Again, Jiren has an active skill, and he needs to get hit 5 times. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has an active skill, and I think he has to get hit 5 or 4 times. I think it's 5 times. And you barely ever see it. So the fact that he has to get hit 7 or more times is really, really bad. That does need to be said. Unless you get super lucky with a ton of attacks in slot 1 in Super Battle Road, you're probably not going to see this till maybe turn 5 or turn 3 if you get, again, super lucky. That's really when you're going to be able to see this. And I don't know why they only made it 17%. I get it's like with the theme, Super 17, they're going to want to use the number 17. Like, I get that. But why not just make this 40% attack and defense? Gogeta has 40%, Jiren has 40%. Just make it 40%. Who gives a damn? or make this that he lowers enemy attack and defense by 17%, and then he buffs himself 17% attack and defense. They literally could have done that. His active skill would have been better. But overall, again, active skill is going to be decent. Again, this is going to help in difficult content. I don't want to make it seem like it's completely fodder. But again, it could have been better, for sure. But again, even without this, even if we take that completely out of his hit, Super 17 is still really, really good. Because again, 170% attack and defense at the start of turn, 15,506 to defense. This guy's going to be easily over 200k. I also haven't talked about supports, but this Shenron and Shadow Dragons is a GT boss's support. This guy, Metal Rildo, is also a support type unit. This Nova's support type unit as well. So again, it's not like this team isn't without support that can help the leader of the team. That also needs to be said. He does have good support type units on this team. Of course, this category does need help, for sure, just like any other category. This team needs help. But Super 17 being the leader of it is by no means going to hinder it down. Another thing is, again, linking partner. He needs another linking partner. Now I said we do need another fusing Super 17, like with a Hellfighter 17 and Android 17, that fuse into, boom, this guy. Because when that comes out, again, move out of the way. This guy's going to be absolutely disgusting. Because again, if you look at his links, Android Assault, 2 key, 20% defense. Fear and Faith, no one really cares about. Fused Fighter, 2 key, 5% attack and defense. Nightmare, 15% attack. And of course, then Fierce Battle's just attack. But again, if we get another version of him having Android Assault and Fused Fighter and Nightmare, again, this guy's just going to be absolutely insane. Because you add all of that into his passive, essentially, because he's getting all those buffs, like 20% defense, 5% attack and defense, 15% attack, and then you add the fact that he's going to be getting basically 34% attack and defense, because again, this guy's both on androids and target Goku, and they're going to look absolutely ridiculous together. they're going to be super good. The only issue is he doesn't have a perfect linking partner. And I do think he's a top 10 unit, because if we take a look at the most popular units, or like that are considered to to be the best, Jiren has a really good not leader skill, but linking partner, God Topo, who's also supporting him. That needs to be kept in mind. You have Turles, who has a really good linking partner in the form of Bojack, who's also supporting him. Do keep that in mind. You have UI Goku, has a very good linking partner that you can put him up with. The Easy A transforming UI Goku. He has a really good linking partner. Evolution Blue Vegeta's kind of like a little bit of a nutcase where he doesn't have a perfect linking partner, but he is really good. You have the Goku and the Vegeta that transform into Super Vegeta. They have a really good linking partner. So again, all the top tier units all have really, really good linking partners. And I do think the Super 17, even without it, is still up on that level, because even without a perfect linking partner, he's still really, really damn good. His attack stats are good, his defensive stat is good. Overall, he's just a super good dominant unit. So again, that's why I think even with all of the stuff that he's got, yes, I'm not denying that he has flaws. He absolutely does. He is not a fodder unit. This is a very good unit. He doesn't deserve to be undermined by any reason. He is going to be very good on GT bosses. He is not bad. I absolutely refuse to accept that he's bad. He's not bad. He really isn't. And another thing that I didn't even mention, he's Extreme Tech. Let's just take a look at Extreme Tech. Let's take a look. What has Extreme Tech gotten in terms of buff in a long time? This guy came out like 2 years ago. He doesn't count. You came out like 4 or 5 years ago. Janemba is probably one of the most recent buffs this team has gotten, but really there isn't a whole lot. So the fact that we now have a summonable LR with the ridiculous power that Super 17 has on Extreme Tech is going to be very, very good for this typing, because again, this is easily one of the worst ones in the game. So again, that also has to give him huge amounts of props and points, because again, he's buffing a really terrible, typing, which is Extreme Tech. And then, if we take a look at his categories, he's buffing androids, which really needs the help that. Again, androids, if we take a look at it, it does seem like a good team, but again, they are horrible. Like they have like almost no defense. MVP 17 has aged. You have aged. You're actually really good. Again, the cells are good, but they're probably not going to link the best with him. Again, just really looking at it, again, the only real buffs they've gotten is probably this cell. This cell is probably the latest buff that they've gotten. But again, he's helping this team, which really needs it. Again, androids is good, but it really needs buffs, and he's buffing them. Artificial life forms. Guess who's on there? Guess who's on there? Baby. Guess who you can link up together with Super 17? Baby. Again, this needs buffs, and he is giving it to this category. Target Goku. Would you look at that? You're going to be good with him. Baby's already on this category as well. Super 17 is on this category. There's androids all over the place. Target Goku's basically androids. Guess what? It's going to unlock his passive. So again, he's not bad. He's really not bad. I would argue he's top 10. I really would. But again, this video, its main purpose is to really kind of like convince you he's not bad. He's way better than people are giving him credit for. Don't just hear what someone says like, oh, like his passive sucks or his links are horrible, so he's bad. No. This is a super good unit. He's a premium top tier unit. And I will fight till my very last breath to prove it. He is not bad, no matter how you try to slice it. His stats prove it. His leader skill proves it. His passive proves it. And so do his categories and his typing. Yes, his active skill and links can suck absolute buttholes. But again, there is still so much potential for him. Because again, links won't be an issue once he has a perfect linking partner. The only downfall is his super attack effects and active skill. That's literally it. That'll be the only thing that's bad about him when he gets his perfect linking partner that most top tier units in the game already have. He just hasn't had access to that. So, like I said before, or not like I said before, I'm gonna stop ranting now. That is gonna do it for today's video, and I will see you all next time.
The name of this one is Rosé. Oh, this is the power of legendary Super Saiyan Goku. Now I understand.